Hi everyone, and thank you for joining today. We are here in Oslo, and behind the camera we have Lars Rikard and Sasha is on the chat. First of all, everyone make sure that you can hear and see us, and if not, please write to the chat and Sasha will try to fix it for you. I have a pleasure to host this webinar today with our valued customer Netox, who will share how they started their AI journey. My name is Johanna Röytiä, and I work as an account manager here in the Cloud People. With me, I have from Netox Mikko Pöyry. Please, would you like to introduce yourself for the audience?
Yes, thanks, Johanna. My name is Mikko Pöyry. I work as a vice president in Netox. I'm responsible for the IT service business, and I've been working for 25 years in the IT industry, whole time with service providers. I've been 2 years working for Netox. It's been really fun time. I've had a great ride so far, and I work as a business owner in this project.
Thanks, Mikko. I'm happy to have you here today with us. And then I have my colleague Kim Andre from the Cloud People here as well, sharing his insights in this journey. So, Kim Andre, feel free.
Thank you, Johanna, and welcome everyone. My name is Kim Andre Espset. I work as an architect and an advisor in the Cloud People, and I have over 10 years experience with ServiceNow. In this project, I am a trusted advisor and the responsible technical architect.
Thanks, Kim. Happy to have both of you here today. And first of all, if someone is still not familiar, what is the Cloud People? Just a quick intro that we are the ServiceNow Elite Partner with over 350 consultants around Europe and as Americas nowadays as well. Our goal is to ensure that our customers get the best value out of their ServiceNow technology, and that's why we have Netox here with us today as well. But let's jump to today's topic, which is the AI. We all are interested in AI and eager to see its benefits. But as many of you know, it's not always easy to companies get ready and succeed with the AI. That's why today's agenda is to give you an overview and about the Netox AI journey, the background and the challenges what Netox faced before they decide to start this journey towards the ServiceNow AI, and what was the exact turning point when the decision were made. We will, of course, discuss a little bit about the project setup and Netox strategic roadmap around the ServiceNow platform. You will also hear about the business outcomes Netox is aiming to reach with this investment. And then we will discuss a little bit about the key learnings and recommendations, what we have learned along the way. And before we run to the story, you feel free to post comments or questions to the chat during the whole webinar. We will be picking up it in the middle of the webinar and also in the end. But now, Mikko, would you like to present the Netox as a company for the audience?
Yeah, thanks. So Netox is actually 25 years company, originally from Oulu, Finland. We have about 155 employees right now. We have people and we have customers mostly in Finland, but some in southern Sweden as well. We have been growing quite a lot, more than 30%, 8 years a row. So I think it's good. And our revenue this year will end up somewhere near 35 million mark. And what we actually do, we do IT services, we do modern work, and we do cybersecurity. IT is mostly managed services like infra and end user support and end user computing and professional services. Modern work is around Microsoft 365 and practically everything you can do around it, starting from consulting and training and transitions and even reselling the licenses. And cybersecurity, it's all around our own security operations center working 24/7. And on top of that, we do that security posture improvement and different kinds of assessments as well. So that's what we do. And important thing is to understand is that quality plays huge part of our strategy. We have 4 different ISO certifications right now: quality, security, service management and environment. And all our certificates cover all our services. I think that's quite different to almost any player in the field. And we are even preparing the fifth and the sixth. There will be business continuity and AI governance. Our customers are usually mid-sized organizations, like said in Finland, in Sweden, and some in Baltics as well right now. And what's the value prop of us is that we build the most cyber resilient 24/7 managed business infra to our customers, and we help them with modern ways of working.
That's a strong promise. Would you like to open up the strategy behind this to make this all happen?
Yeah, perfect. So we rewrote our strategy about 1 year ago, and our strategic goal is to be the #1 service provider with IT and security in Nordics. So we have 4 years time left. and in nutshell, the market we play in, there are 3 sectors. It's critical infrastructure with public sector, of course. All the mid-size organization who want the best in breed services, and as well kind of local growth companies growing to global scale. So that's where we want to play in the future. And how we think we will win, we are really focusing on one platform, and that's Microsoft. All our services are purely built on top of Microsoft. And the second one is that we want to make service so good that clients actually stay. So they won't leave. It's impossible to grow when your clients are leaving. And of course, we want to have teams that make decisions by themselves. We call it distributed decision making. And the last but not least is that every single thing we do must be built to scale. It's the only option when we are growing this fast. So that's the strategy in a nutshell.
Great nutshell. Thank you, Mikko. Now we will dive into the starting point of the Netox AI journey and how the first decisions were made and what led you to this stage where we are today. All this was happening while the global operational environment was full of challenges, for example, like the economic instability and the rising costs. And even looking at the challenges, you were able to make quick and bold decisions about the AI adoption and how to move forward. So first, if we look at a little bit back and even the situation today, what kind of challenges, Mikko, you faced and maybe still are facing while executing your strategy?
Yeah, good, excellent question. I think from the business perspective, the first one is that the competition in the IT service industry, it's been really tough for, I would say, last 15 years at least. Practically, it means that prices have been going down rapidly and the salaries are going up. So it's really, really hard to make the business profitable. And I would say that trying to differentiate is hard as well, because most of the kind of new customers and new deals are made through competitive biddings, which means that in a nutshell, customers or consultants define the services and we give prices to that. And that leads to the next problem or challenge, which is that because the services are not standard, it's really difficult to build scalability. And the strategy, we decided that everything must be built to scale. So I see that as a really tough challenge. And in recent years, I think that the customers have been asking more and more that how we are going to utilize AI in our own operations. And it's a tough one when you have no answer on that. And although we have great AI knowledge, for example, with our co-pilot consultants who are doing lots of good AI stuff to our customers and help them solve their business problems, but we don't have or did not have any answer on how we are going to improve our own operations. So that's a tough one. And maybe last one could be employee experience. And what I mean is that nowadays people coming in to our company, they pay more and more attention to what kind of tools they use and what kind of softwares and platforms they need to do when they do their work. So when it's good and it gives them added value, it benefits a lot, for example, to make people stay in your company. So
That's true.
yeah.
And I think those are challenges many of the ServiceNow customers nowadays can easily relate, and people in the audience as well. And I like that you mentioned that the ServiceNow is an important factor also when looking at the employee experience. Of course, there is important stuff around the customer value as well, but I like the angle of the employees. How about if you look at your ServiceNow implementation, what was the stage of it when you decide that you want to start this AI journey?
Yeah. It's kind of, we have on ServiceNow ITSM platform in use. It has all the basic ITIL processes in place. We are doing all the ticketing through it. I think it has all the necessary basic functionalities implemented. And some customizations have been built around CMDB and billing and self-service and stuff like that. So that's the current situation.
Yeah, and I think that's quite a typical situation where most of the ServiceNow customers starts their journey. It's from the ITSM corner because ServiceNow has been known from the ITSM capabilities for ages. Even it's nowadays way much more. And I think now we need to look at that point when the direction changed, that you wanted to get out of this ITSM corner. So Mikko, what was the turning point?
Yeah, we have been doing lots of thinking, I would say at least 1 year. And we had kind of feeling that AI might be the way. It might bring us some solutions to the challenges I mentioned before. And thinking that maybe if we could kind of utilize it way more or in more broader scope, or maybe even be more creative with the AI, could that kind of help us overcome those challenges? And everything looked good, but the fact that we have no funds to invest in development of the AI, I think it takes millions if you start from the scratch developing all that stuff yourselves. So we started thinking that maybe we could buy it as a service, and who might be the one who could could provide it as a service. And looking at ServiceNow, it kind of felt quite natural because we are already using it. It's big enough and everything looks good. And we did some initial investigation, and it looked like, yeah, this has to be the way. And things started to look promising.
Did you look at any other systems while you were looking at ServiceNow? And why did you choose ServiceNow? Why did it fit into your strategy?
Yeah, excellent question, Kim. I think, yeah, we did. We looked at Microsoft Suitcase, for example, what Copilot and Azure OpenAI could bring us, because we have, of course, we have some experience in it already, and kind of a way of integrating them to ServiceNow. It looked good. And actually, to be honest, we still look that path. I think we cannot abandon it. But right now, it looks that ServiceNow, buying AI as a service from ServiceNow, is the right path and right path for us.
Yeah, and what you're saying here really fits into the ServiceNow strategy, because they are coming out with an AI control tower to governance their AI and other AIs around your system and environment. So, you know, in Las Vegas, when they had the knowledge in 2005, Bill Dermott went on the stage with the CIO of NVIDIA and Microsoft, and they launched their strategic partnership around AI. You were there, weren't you? Can you tell us a little bit around this, how this was?
Yeah. I think the trip to Vegas was actually really important step in our journey, because we went there kind of to seek answers and confirm our assumptions. And that keynote of the knowledge event was, I think it was telling the most to me, because this when Bill McDermott, the CEO of ServiceNow, invited two friends there, Satya Nadella and Jensen Huang, and they were actually talking about the strategic alliance and developing AI. So it's quite crazy to think that Microsoft and NVIDIA, as far as I know, they are probably the two of the most valuable companies in the world.
Yeah.
And if ServiceNow is playing with these guys, I think it's impossible to go completely wrong.
I totally agree. If you have two big players like this, or three with ServiceNow going
Definitely.
together, why not jump on board?
Definitely, yeah.
And after your trip to Vegas, things started to move really fast because you had made the decision that you want to go with the ServiceNow AI, all in with it, if you use the poker terms. And then we jumped to the next phase because we really soon started to plan the next steps. I think you had a really clear goal what you want to achieve while utilizing the ServiceNow AI, and we supported you as a partner, and we had the same goal with you. From partner's perspective, I have to say that it was really great to be involved in this planning phase because things moved forward, and like said, it was crystal clear what we wanted to achieve. But when the decision was made regarding the ServiceNow AI that you want to somehow utilize it, what happened after that?
Yeah, we went back from the Vegas, and I think practically it was either on the airplane on the next day at Finland, we really started thinking about the business case. And we did it really easy way. We took a basic, practically it was a lean canvas, one pager. We started thinking about the problems I already described and possible solutions that ServiceNow and AI could bring us. And we did some work with the value proposition as well, internally and externally, both sides. And then we started calculating the business benefits and connected hard euros on those calculations. And that was the point things started to look really interesting. and that planning phase, I think it took about 1.5 months, maybe.
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, around that. And I remember that kind of, we were thinking, who should we do this work with, this planning phase? And of course, it was quite natural that we started doing with you guys, because we have already been working with you for 1.5 years, and we have a good relationship and I think good collaboration since the beginning. And I think the most important point for that was that you were really able to respond quickly. But I said that it was next day we started planning this, and next day you were already helping us.
Yeah.
So it was really important, and we thought that, do you have enough kind of competencies with this kind of AI heavy project? But you were able to kind of connect all the key players to, for example, like Kim, to this project since day one. And that was really the important part, why we were quite sure that we need to continue planning this project with you. And all in all, I think it took about 2 months from idea to decision and the project running at full steam. And I think that's quite crazy, because this project is multi-million investment in a small company like Netox. So things moved really fast.
Yeah, the planning phase was really intense. We spent hours and hours together, and also on our own sides to plan and make like decent plan to implement these capabilities you're aiming to get, but also not forgetting the business benefit side of it. And also most extremely important part of planning was the defining the technical scope for the project, because we knew what you wanted to achieve by the ServiceNow AI capabilities, but what did it mean from the technical perspective? Kim, maybe you open up that a little bit.
Yeah, we are now in the phase of the project that I call the thinking and the shaping phase. We sat down a lot together, both you and other people at Netox and other people at TCP, where we built the foundations within it. We decided on the scope, what was out the scope, and where we wanted to go. We looked at the visions, we looked at the priorities, and we looked at the different principles that we agree on. And with this, we built a really good SOV containing all the things we would take aboard this project, like the TPS, like the AI, and like the CSDM. And this is where we build a really solid SOV that we all can agree on and know where we want to go and how we want to get there.
Yeah.
And during the planning phase, there came a quite bold choice you made, because like you earlier described, your current ITM ServiceNow environment implemented 5 years ago in a month. And during the planning, you decide that you will go with the greenfield setup. So of course, taking the necessary parts from the current environment, but building totally new setup where you utilize the industry-specific ServiceNow TPSM plus AI capabilities. So how we ended up to this situation?
Yeah, it's a good question again, Johanna, because I have previous experience on ServiceNow. Actually, I think this is the third project I've been working on with ServiceNow in last 15 years. And I've seen that things can really go wrong when implementing ServiceNow in the first time, or implementing it in hurry, or with insufficient know-how. So kind of I had a bad feeling that our 5 years old ServiceNow ITSM installation is not in the solid grounds. So it was quite an easy decision actually to start thinking that we will rebuild everything from scratch and start that greenfield stuff.
And in this case, it's for sure a good decision you
Yeah.
made. And we have talked about the ServiceNow TPSM capability. So maybe Kim-Andre, you would like to open up to audience a little bit what TPSM exactly means.
Yeah, I want to explain a bit about the difference between TPSM and ITSM, like most people use today, as you did until now, and we'll do until we're finished. The ITSM part is a typical IT process, the change, the request, the incident, and so on. So this is more for internal IT than your multi-customers. The TPSM model is built on the CSM, the Customer Service Management, and it builds on building on giving value to your customers with a B2B defined data model, with case life cycles, with prioritization, and with AI on top of that. So I think the TPSM is a perfect fit for a multi-customer model like yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and correct if I'm wrong, but Mikko, I think your aim is in Netox is to be the first one in Finland who goes live with the ServiceNow TPSM implementation.
Yeah, I hope that we are first one in Nordics. but of course, we aim to be the first one in the market. We do it as fast as we can. And I think that kind of being smaller gives us an edge compared to larger competitors, because we really have smaller legacy footprint. It's easier decision for us to abandon everything we have and start building from scratch.
Yeah.
And I think that we can make decisions faster. And that leads to the fact that I think that we can run faster. So yes, we will do it. I hope to be the first in the market. And I think the TPSM is so new. It has been around for, I don't know, maybe some months or at maximum 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are not just going to go live with the TPSM capabilities. No. You're going to go live with the ServiceNow environment, which is fully capable to utilize the ServiceNow out-of-the-box AI agents.
Exactly.
And then we get the AI agents and all the AI technology that ServiceNow have on top of this really strong backbone that TPSM provides. So we will have AI automation. We'll have case classifications. We'll have real-time AI agents that helps you. We will have AI assist that helps all the service desk employees. And when we take this together with the TPSM and the backbone structure, we will really get a solid platform both that will keep the data and will use the data. It will be really good when we go forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in this stage it's good to remind the audience that you feel free to ask any questions in the chat or comment anything what we discuss here, or if there is something what you want to know more. So please feel free to post chat anything you have on your mind. But yeah, let's continue on Netox AI journey. As discussed, the Vegas was the turning point. It was an inspiring trip, and you met the great people there. And then we had a planning phase in quite a tight time frame. And of course, there has some assumptions and challenges we had to face while planning this, because it's a huge project. So I think this is one of the most common question I get from my other customers, and also what pops out during the planning this project, that people often wonder that is it possible to get the value out of the AI if you don't have like a huge amount of data ready-made in your ServiceNow instance.
Yeah, and this is the question that a lot of people are wondering about. I'm sure some of our listeners are wondering about it too. But the thing is, you don't need a massive amount of data to start with AI. AI will help you build the data and help you build it correctly, right? Because you can use AI to fill the gaps in your data. So when we then start with a greenfield one, we will build the data the correct way and don't have a lot of legacy issues and stuff like that you usually have with old data. So we will have a strong foundation for AI learning. We will have the AI models in addition that are globally trained by ServiceNow on global data sets from around the service environments around the world. And this will give us a great opportunity to take advantage of AI even with less data in the instance, because we will build the data ourselves.
Yeah, and like earlier discussed, we set up the technical scope for the project, and it was an important milestone, but it was just a starting point. To make actually successful project, it needs a lot of other things as well. So from the Netox perspective, what you did when we started this project and before it even?
Yeah, thanks, Johanna. Again, we took a one-pager or a canvas. We tried defining things, and we made it in really simple way, defining the deliverables. We made clear definition of done. We did really some tight outscoping, things we understood that would bring too much variance to this. We did tight milestones and tied them to schedule. So those were maybe the hard parts of the business definition of the project. And then, of course, we had other issues like we paid attention on identifying risks already at that phase and already ways to mitigate them. And of course, identifying all the players in the project, internal and external. And we calculated work estimates to every player. So that's how we kind of got a realistic view on the schedule and realistic number for the budget. And then we multiplied everything by 2.
Of course.
That's a true story.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing is to set up the project scope and the team and the ways of working. And one important part of ways of working is the steering structure. And this is something what we spent quite a lot of time to discuss about before we kicked off the project. So Mikko, open up a little bit about those discussions and the importance of this successful steering group.
Yeah.
Before we go into the steering group, should we answer the question that Tom has? Yeah, I've got my question here.
Yeah, of course. Nice.
I can read it out. How did you guide the transition journey towards AI in your teams? What kind of organizational measures did you take to take away potential fears and how people see the benefits or perceived benefits? And secondly, how did you measure the effects of this adoption? Have you done anything like this? This is a hard question, though.
Perfect question, I think. Thanks for that, Tom. I think that since day one, we have been thinking that this is actually not an IT project. It's a leading the change project, which means that practically the ways our people are working in the future and the ways the customers are experiencing the service, it's all about leading the change. It's not a technical IT project.
Yeah.
And that approach we decided in the definition of the project phase. So that's really an excellent question. And the second one, I think it's even harder part. How did you measure the effectiveness of the adoption? Yeah. I have to admit I don't have answer on that yet, but I promise that when the next part of this webinar comes out, we will have the answer.
It's a hard thing to measure though, because
Yeah.
it's not easy.
Yeah, but excellent questions.
Thanks a lot, Tom. Should we then go back to the steering group?
Yeah. So I've been working with lots of different kinds of projects in last years, and I really believe that steering group, the purpose of it should be completely about helping projects to succeed. It's the sole purpose of the steering group, and it's really about setting clear goals, focusing on business benefits, and focusing on right things. Like I told you that if we fail to meet budget or schedule, I think it can be counted in tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of euros. But if we fail to reach the business benefits, it can be counted in millions.
Yeah.
So that's how I believe and see the thing. And it's all about managing risks and being really, really transparent with them. And then sometimes you need to act fast. And that's how I think steering group should work.
Yeah, and you mentioned the business benefits like that. That's prior one when we look at the project in every corner. So, and from the day one, the strategy, your Netox strategy has been leading the goal for the project and the planning and every task we do regarding the project. But I think this is also quite a common challenge that many customers and many projects face, that how to make those business benefits measurable, because it's easy to define that these are the business benefits what we get, but how to measure it?
Yeah. So looking at the strategic perspective, like I said, that in the strategy we have 4 areas, and the last one was the scalability. So in our strategy there are already 3 KPIs measuring how well the strategy is going to improve, and we have already targets set there. So instead of kind of figuring out different KPIs for this project, we decided that we will take the strategy KPIs which apply to this project. And the only thing we will do is to monitor how they are going to progress as this project goes through. So I think it's a different way. I have never done it this way, and it's really, really interesting one. And on top of that, of course, I think customer value should never be forgotten. And we are thinking that on customer's perspective, there should be more solutions, less waiting. It's really simple. There should be more scalability and more proactivity, less reactivity. The service should be really transparent, so the customer knows what's happening and how things are going on, and how they can order more or move things or change things.
Yeah.
And of course, I think that this will benefit our customers to shift towards digital service strategy of theirs.
Yeah, that's true.
And maybe the last but not least is kind of cost efficiency. If we can have more efficiency to them, it will probably show them as more reasonable bills and prices.
I think we have one new question here at the chat as well, so let's look at that. What approaches did you take to ensure the adoption?
Yeah, again, perfect question, Andy. I think we have no answer on that yet. I think we are just working on it.
Yeah.
We will go live on next
May.
That's the target, and we are already planning how we can kind of take care of the adoption, but we have no clear steps on it yet.
We are in the middle of the project now, right? So we are
Yeah.
working forward to the goal, I think. And we're going to start with some, let's call it alpha customers, pretty soon to see how this works.
Oh, yes. Perfect question again from Finland, I see. That's a good question. I think I would do many things in different ways. Probably I would think a bit more and act a little less. We have been bouncing, as you see, that things have been progressing at really fast pace.
Yeah.
And of course, it means that we have been missing some steps and banging our heads to different things. Maybe I would take some time little bit more in right places. For example, those definitions, and like you see that we have no answer on how to ensure that adaption. It's a good example that maybe in perfect world we should have. So maybe a little less doing, a little more thinking. But I'm pretty happy in the situation right now.
Yeah, and because you want to do this fast and be the first, it needs that we do and learn at the same time while this project. So it was a good question.
But I will get back to you, Olli, if I can find anything during this webinar I learned that we should maybe have done in some different ways.
Yeah. And we discussed earlier about the business benefits, and you talk about the financial benefits as well. So I think that's something what the audience is eager to hear. Like, what kind of financial benefits do you think you will outsource of this investment?
Yeah, I think this is probably I hope that this is the best part of the webinar. So we started calculation when we did the project or the business case definition. We did 3 different scenarios, low, which kind of we modeled it in the way that things don't go as we expect them to go. And then we did the high scenario when things go way better than we expect them to do. And the estimated scenario sits right in the middle. And we have been calculating the benefits in hard euros for whole strategy period of us, which means 4 years of time approximately. And it gives us range of 6 to 16 millions of euros of business benefits directly from this project. So I think it's quite a huge amount of euros thinking a company of our size. And I'm not talking completely about savings. I'm just saying that value can and will be shared with the customers too. But it will be our decision and customers' decision what we want to do. But it's hard savings in one point of view.
And I love that when we think about the outcomes of the project and discuss about it, it's not just about the business value. There is a customer value focus, but there is also the employee experience focus. So it's affecting so many ways in your business. And we have talked quite a lot how Netox ended up to take the first steps on their AI journey. So, and today we are in a phase that we are doing the project. Like I said, everything started in May from the knowledge in Las Vegas, and then we did the tight time frame, this planning phase, and now we are working in the project planning to go live on next year's May. So maybe Kim, it's your time to shine and tell a little bit about where we are today in the project, what we are doing, and also let's look at the overall roadmap for the Netox and their strategy regarding the ServiceNow.
Yes. Today we are in what we call phase 1 of the project, as you can see on the screen here. This is the scope of setting up TPSM, setting up AI, and the CSDM. By this, we hope to get, we know we will get a good foundation and a really good AI environment that will help the service desk and Netox to be much more efficient from day 1. But we are also planning to go further with this, go into the customer success operation, as I call it, the phase 2. So then we're going to go into contract management professional, sales and order management, item discovery, and even build out our common service model even more, common service data model, I'm sorry. And after this, then we will go to the predictive and automated service assurance, where we want the system to be smart enough to understand almost everything itself and see errors long before they happen with AI ops and automated remediation. So this is where we plan to go over a period. But we are the phase 1 that we're starting on now is also giving massive value because we're just not setting it up as a start, but that's a real good starting point.
And when thinking about the ServiceNow AI context here, I think what is extremely interesting is this project is that you are utilizing the ServiceNow out-of-the-box AI agent in the next May when you go live with this greenfield implementation. The idea is not to start slow with some parts of the Now Assist capabilities, for example. You go all in and you are able to utilize all the amount of agents, and no one else knows how much the agents will be there in the next year.
Probably going to be many in May already.
We have some expectation the amount of the agents will be
in thousands.
More than 1,000 or
Yeah.
even few thousands
Yeah.
when we are production ready. And the fact that we have not selected the agents yet, which we are going to use, because it would be quite stupid to make the decisions now when the amount of possible available agents is rising really rapidly.
Yeah, and that's exactly the idea of utilizing the ready-made AI.
Yeah.
And before we start to wrap up and jump more to the questions, still feel free to add any questions or comments. No need to be even a question to the chat. I would like to challenge you, Kim and Mikko, regarding the key learnings and also the recommendations. What you would like to say about what you have learned in this stage of project?
I can start with this. What I have learned, what I see as my key learning in this project is really talking about the clarity, cooperation, and the smart start that we did together. We really used a lot of time to understand that we have a shared vision. We have clean data and we have AI on top of that, and we know where we want to go. So it's no disagreement when we go on in a project that has the time frame of this, where we want to end up in May next year.
Yeah. Agree with you.
And what I noticed while I've been quite closely working with this project as well is that the importance of the internal sponsors, also a little bit lapping with the question asked as well, that it's not enough to have the project team involved. Like in this project, we organized the demos for way much larger amount of people in Netox to present what we do in the project and where we are today, to ensure that your organization is aware what's happening and they have the same hype as the project team has.
Yeah. So I'm really thinking, and I agree with you, Johanna, that executive sponsors are absolutely necessary, and kind of taking active part to the project. I at least partially consider myself as executive sponsor, and I really think this is probably the most important duty in my work right now. So it's really important.
It's really good to have you on board as well.
Thanks, Kim. But I have to admit that the most surprising thing in this whole project was actually the business benefits calculated in euros. That's the key learning for me. I would have never guessed that if we crunch the numbers enough, we end up to a number with a magnitude of 10 million euros in strategy period. We have all kinds of different strategic initiatives and all kinds of different projects running, but none of them come even close. So that's really surprising and my learning here. And I would say that one thing I learned in the Vegas was that when I got there, I really got the feeling that the world is moving globally really fast.
Yeah.
And with AI and developing the AI capabilities, I feel that at least in Finland, and I guess that in some ways in Nordics as well, we don't recognize how fast the world moves. And we are sitting in our own thoughts, and the world moves faster. So I hope that we could really be brave enough and fast enough to move with the world.
Yeah, I really respect what you're doing here, because there are not a lot of companies that would have dared to take the step that you have.
Yeah.
I really try to be like one of the early adapters around the world to go into this. It's a brave, and I think it's going to benefit you a lot.
Yeah, it's a good point. Actually, bravery is the first value in Netox values. We have 4 values, and bravery is the first one. And if you connect all the first letters, they form a bold statement. So that's why I think I'm here as well. And maybe the last learning, that was actually excellent question from Tom already, but repeating it again, I think the big thing here is leading the change, ensuring the adoption, and it's not about IT in the first place. So it's about people and employees and customers and how they behave. So it's leading a change project in my perspective.
You do have internal meetings, right, in Netox that we talk about this project, so everybody, employees, knows what they're doing.
Yeah, every Friday.
Yeah, I heard about that, and it's a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can do like really cool stuff with the technical stack and plug and play hundreds of AI agents and etc. But if you haven't changed the mindset in your organization and they are not willing to adapt the AI stuff and the new ways of working, it doesn't really fly.
Yeah, and we have those demo sessions regularly. I don't remember how often.
Every third week.
Every third week for huge bunch of our specialists. Yeah. So we really kind of try to make this project as transparent as possible to everyone. We are here talking to the public, and we are trying to make it as public and transparent internally as well.
So it's internally, it's your customers, and it's the public.
Yes.
It's like the three share. So
yes.
It's a perfect way to do it.
Thanks for the insights. I think these are really valuable takeaways from the project and the planning and how we ended up to this phase where we are today. And it's always interesting to look at what kind of takeaways we have, for example, after 6 months from this phase, because it's totally different, probably, at least somehow.
Yeah.
So any more questions or comments from the audience, feedback about the discussion or anything, feel free to comment in chat. We are still here for you guys.
And also, if you don't have any more questions, feel free to contact us on a later stage. You will find contact information.
Yeah, I think I will pop
Oh, wait, there is a question. Are you considering to use OCM going forward? Or are you engaged on an OCM team already? OCM?
Tough questions. I don't recognize the OCM.
Me neither.
Andy, would you like to clarify what you mean with the OCM team?
Yeah. Oh, it comes to operation change management. Operation change management.
Yeah, I think those are, yes. Yes, I think, Andy, to be honest, after your question, we really have to investigate on that because going forward, that might be important part. We have not even thought about that.
And there has been a lot of good ideas to think about, like,
yes.
Thanks for the audience for the questions.
Yes.
And one thing which is not in the chat, but one of my customers asked when we talk about your AI journey was that you decided to go with the greenfield and drop off the current ITSM environment. But how about if customer is having like existing service now, for example, ITSM environment, and maybe the maturity level is not that high? So is it necessary to do the greenfield, the big bang, or can it be the AI utilized in the old environment as well?
AI can be utilized in the old environment as well. Then you just need to figure out what kind of use cases you want AI to solve for you in the environment you have. So you need to figure out which things that I want to put AI agents on first, and then look at where you want to go instead of doing the whole thing in one step. So look at use cases and figure out which use cases are going to benefit you the most to get AI agents to solve. That's where I would recommend you to go.
Is there some assumptions regarding the current environment? What would be problem?
You can always be problem with data. If the data is bad, or if you have...
you mean the quality of the data?
The quality of data. If you have too bad data, so AI will get wrong learnings, then you have a problem. If you have the data that's not good enough to AI to understand it or to use it, you will have problems with it.
Yeah, that's the good highlight as well, that Netox made a bold decision to do the greenfield, and there was relevant reasons for that. Yeah. But that's there is two ways to utilize the AI.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there is benefits in both of them.
Yeah.
But yes, if we don't have any more comments or questions at the chat, I will thank you all for the great questions from the audience. And also, of course, I will thank you, Kim and Mikko, here today with us, and Mikko especially sharing the Netox story and where are you standing today. And I'm really looking forward where this AI journey will lead us together. And like discussed, this is just the first session in our AI series with Netox. So please stay tuned. We will be continuing the story and diving deeper into different perspectives in the upcoming sessions.
That's it.
Yeah.
And thanks a lot from the questions. They're perfect.
Wish you all a great day.
Thanks again, everyone, for joining. Looking forward to see you next time.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.